My internship was essential in defining who I was to become after graduation and what things I studied during school. It really opened up. It's a mission in Peru, but it really opened up my perspective to things outside of what you would normally see as a missionary. It just opened up more opportunities. I think that would become more of a liability than an asset to not have an internship. So yeah, I think it would be more of a financial burden to not have that experience, that real world work experience. I definitely think that there are lots of people who don't pursue an internship knowing that there might not be money there might not be funding there, that they might not have enough money available to do the internship. I could see where students would feel inhibited or trapped because they didn't have the financial backing or the ability to do an internship. What I valued most from my internships was just the simple work experience, was the chance to get to know the world in a business setting outside of the United States. That was something that really helped me feel confident in what I was studying, helped me feel confident in Spanish. So had I not done that, I don't know what I would be doing, I don't know where I would be going with them.
Even though I grew up speaking Spanish at home and that I work at the MTC teaching Spanish, working at the Peruvian consulate has definitely provided a professional vocabulary that I hold dear today. So I'm really grateful for the experiences that I've had here.
I thought it was really important that future employers saw that I had made an effort to do internships and get some experience. I knew that having an internship would be on-the-job experience, and that really helped me get my job.
The Merit School currently does not have an international major, and I really wanted to get that experience, and this internship provided that experience for me and helped me really to know that this is the sort of work that I wanted to do. And also, the last thing that this internship did was help me connect with various people inside DIFCU, and when I was starting to apply for jobs my senior year, I was able to contact with them again, and now I'm working with DIFCU, and this has been perhaps the greatest benefit I got from the internship.
It's essential for every student to do an internship. The #1 reason is because companies are, this is an international economy now. Companies are looking for people that have international experience. They've actually gone through several people in my position that hasn't really worked out because, they didn't really understand the difference between Chinese and American business culture, and so I think it's making a difference with my experience in China. Thanks to my internship, I was able to get a good job. Doors were open for me. Doors that otherwise would not have been there. When I was in China, I was married and had 2 kids, and if it wasn't for the funding that I received for my internship, there's no way I would have been able to do it.
I receive dozens of resumes every day. One of the very difficult things is that when you open the resumes, it shows the education, but it shows no experience. Or if it shows experience, it shows no relevant experience. So for me, I cannot hire people that way because the time to train them it will be longer, which it will be more costly for me. However, when they have worked at the consulate and they have been committed for 4 months, putting this number of hours, it tells me many things. Number 1, the commitment, their discipline. Number 2, the importance of valuing service. And number 3, that they understand how to work with other cultures and the importance of communication and language. So for me, they have an advantage over anybody else when it comes to hiring. That's why I always go with the interns that I have at the consulate when it's time to hire for the translation company. We have a lot of students that would love to come and do the internship, but they cannot because they don't have the financial resources to do it. Although many of them, I think, will do a very good job. I would love to continue getting students from the Humanities department at BYU. They are excellent for us. My plan is to not just have them as an interns, but also to hire them to U.S. translation company.
DIFCU has had a long history with the BYU internship program. We have been using interns from this program for 20 years now. The internship program is really win-win for both the student and the company that is accepting the intern. So it allows the company to take a good hard look at the student who's there, be able to see whether they're suitable for possible future position at the company. There's no doubt in my mind that the internship program helps the students get a leg up in finding work later on. From my side, as the company side experience, when I needed some people recently who were bilingual, I immediately went back and looked at the interns who had worked for me before and tried to find out if there were people available, and went to the directors of the intern program to see if there were any others that were available that I had not met yet, because all of the people that we had been very quality people.
Whenever I get an applicant from a BYU student, I'm particularly pleased because I know I know the quality I'm going to get, and I know the skill sets I'm going to get. The benefit of an internship is it's just so broadening. You might think you know Argentina or Bolivia from serving a mission there, and you probably do, but you don't know the Argentina and Bolivia of the professional life or in your field. They're just that much more competitive when they're applying for jobs. It just looks good on the resume to have served at the U.S. Embassy in Rome or Buenos Aires or Nouakchott, and to have written the Human Rights Report or the International Religions Report or whatever other tasks we've given them. But beyond sort of just the resume building that it does, and I won't discount that at all, I just think they also leave as a broader, more developed, more world-wise individual, better able to integrate all the things they've learned and apply them to real-life situations in a way that you probably couldn't replicate through many other experiences.
It gave me a new perspective on how life is lived in other places, and it was definitely scary. It definitely stretched me more than I have been stretched before, but it was so rewarding, and I'm so grateful to have had it. I absolutely think that internships are vital. I think that employers absolutely look for that. They look for someone who's done what they want to do, or someone who's willing to try new things or be put under stressful circumstances to see that they can succeed. I think that shows character. I think that shows willingness to try new things, and I think that's huge in the workforce. Financial reasons are probably the #1 problem with students not completing internships. Being a college student, it's hard to be able to make enough money so that you can work for free, essentially, for a long time. But that experience that you gain is really priceless, and you need that in the workforce. You can have something in common with someone who's halfway across the world from you that you've never met, but you can get along so well without even speaking the same language. I loved Italy. I loved my experience there. I wouldn't trade it for anything. I'm just really grateful to have the opportunity to do what I love in a real world context. I'm so grateful that I was able to do that with the help of a scholarship, and that I was able to not worry so much about the fiscal problems, but I was able to really dedicate myself to living and working in an environment that I loved.
The internship helped me learn how to interact with people that expect professionalism. In today's global market, it's very important for the College of Humanities to send out students who have coupled their classroom learning and experience with an international experience where they're able to gain practical skills along with the things that they're learning in the College of Humanities. From the beginning, I always looked at my internship in France as an investment, as an opportunity for me to gain real skills. I'm learning wonderful things in the College of Humanities and in the international relations courses that I'm taking here at BYU. But the internship really has been invaluable for building me as a person and for getting me ready to get a real career, support a family. So my internship was valuable on definitely more than one level. Even though I went there professionally, I was blessed spiritually. The College of Humanities gave me a $2,000 scholarship to be able to complete the internship in Paris, for which I was grateful for it. Honestly, the way I looked at the internship is this is so important to me and really to my future family that I'm going to get loans for this if I have to, and I did use some loans, but I was really grateful for the scholarship because it minimizes a little bit of what I have to pay back later, what I have to worry about in the future, and you don't always get all the financial aid you need, and I definitely saw the scholarship as being absolutely essential for just surviving in France. It was an unpaid internship, and so the scholarship. I mean, $2,000 is not a small bit of money, but I feel like it was well served, and I'm grateful for it.
And what our research shows is that students that have solid mastery of their discipline, coupled with real work experiences and as well as study abroad and civic engagement, do better when they transition into their first jobs and early career success than those students that don't have those experiences.
One valuable thing about my experience in Italy was that I was able to apply BYU's motto, enter to learn and go forth to serve. I felt like because I was in Italy with spending time with a variety of different types of people, I was able to share what I learned at BYU, the skills I learned here, as well as the beliefs and values that we have here at BYU with people all around the world. Well, specifically my language skills that I learned here, and also my knowledge of the art world was very helpful to me. Being a BYU student, I was able to kind of have an impact on the people around me. I got a lot of questions on my internship about my values and about my beliefs, and I was able to share them with the people there. Students need an internship. I think all students should go international at some point in their undergraduate degree. It's so valuable. I know it really changed my life. I think studying internationally really gives you a different perspective on the world around you. It allows you to see what types of people there are out there in the world, and to be able to apply the things that you learned at BYU. I had been wanting to go to Italy since I first started taking Italian lessons at BYU, and I was really concerned about not being able to go because I really didn't have the financial means to go. But after speaking with the Humanities department, I found that there were different financial resources available, and because of those, I was able to go, and I otherwise wouldn't have been able to. Without funding, BYU students wouldn't have the same opportunity that I had to see other cultures and experience the world outside of Provo, Utah. I'm so grateful for my internship. I loved it. I loved every minute of it. It was worth every penny that I spent. I learned so much about myself and about the world and about people in general and about why I have the values I do from my internship, and I don't think that experience could be replaced by anything else. Humanities students need internships because we study the arts. We study the effects of culture in every time period and place, and particularly with international internships, you're able to actually see those places and see the arts in those areas and see how they're still prevalent in culture today. Thanks to my internship in Italy, I see people in a different way. I see the world with a different perspective, and I even understand the art that I've studied with new eyes as I was able to see it in person. Yeah, my internship will definitely help me get a job because I have more experience in the art world, I have more language experience, I have more experience working with different types of people and different personalities, and all those things are going to contribute to my ability to find jobs in the future and keep them. And without that internship experience, I don't think that I would really understand what it means to enter to learn and go forth to serve.
I worked with many international students from different countries, and I'm very impressed with the BYU student, and they're willing to work, eager to learn, and their curiosity to know more and to help the community, to be more involved with activities, and their tolerance to know more. And what impresses me more that the BYU student, when they come to a totally new culture, they come prepared and they know what they are going through, even though they are going through something different from than what they have learned in the classroom. But they get the chance to apply what they have learned into reality. And this is what I've touched through working with them, whether it is through community activities or even in policy or documentation with them. They are really awesome people. Employers usually look for experience and they are hesitant about job-changing candidates or fresh graduates. And internships, especially the international internships, provide this kind of experience, whether it is applying what the students have learned in academic classes into reality. They are more able to come up with practical solutions because they have been through the experience of practical solutions, and they have more also networking with other people, whether they are new friends or new employers or even new mentors. They can share information and experience through these new employers and new mentors. Okay. We would love to have more BYU Humanities students because they have shown nothing but commitment and work excellence.
The internship actually was critical in me being able to get a job as quickly as I did. It provided a lot of experience and substance to my resume that I wouldn't have had otherwise. And I was trying to get into doing things that I didn't really have any background experience in besides my internship, and my studies actually didn't really relate to what I was applying for either. So this internship really was critical in allowing me to have something to take to the table to show that I had learned and I'd had some experience in a business environment that I was trying to get into. I do think there's a lot of value in having internships, especially as humanities students. For example, the company that I work at is a software company. We're pretty heavy in the science-oriented type of degrees, but my internship did show that I was able to function and succeed in those a little bit more science-oriented type of capacities while getting the benefits that I got from my humanities degree of learning about effective communication, about being able to analyze things and look at it from a little bit outside the box, be a little bit more creative, that I don't think I would have necessarily have gotten going the more science-oriented study routes. So I do think that internships provide a lot of value in that arena, that they show that you can succeed in these types of environments.
Because I have to work to support my family, it really would have been impossible to accept the internship without the scholarship from the humanities department.
The coupling of that sort of intensive liberal arts education with that real-world pre-professional experience makes for an excellent combination for our students. And as a result, oftentimes they're highly sought after by companies, universities, government agencies, and so forth. The question of whether or not having an internship prior to graduating from the university is one that is very relevant to today's world. And our students are seeing that, in fact, if they're going to be able to compete with other students from these top-tier universities for graduate school slots or positions in businesses or in government, whatever it may be, they have to have the credentials, and these internships give them the necessary credentials to be able to compete on an even level playing field. It's interesting, whenever I go over to Moscow and meet with providers for internships for our students, quite frequently one of the first things that they say is, "We love your students, their language abilities surpass those of other students from universities around the United States. They're very dependable, reliable, in that way. We can count on them. They are hardworking. They're serious about what they're doing. As a result, oftentimes our students are able to land internships that otherwise they wouldn't have access to. But because BYU has been able to develop a good reputation over the years, oftentimes providers look at our students and open doors for them. In terms of being able to use this internship as a springboard for going on and finding employment post-graduation, the internship has proven time and again to be a critical component. If I had it my way, of course, I would love for every student to be able to have this kind of opportunity in one way or another, so as to be able to bridge their university education at home with the professional world. The internship is that bridge. It gives them that needed experience to be able to go out there and compete with people from many different walks of life, and to be able to give them an edge in that competition.